When I first moved to Canada, I made mistakes, expensive ones like overpaying for rent, not budgeting and my money going out quickly, and overspending on things, not realizing how quickly these costs add up. But over time, I adjusted, incorporated some habits, and these habits have actually made a huge difference. This number one is books. Now, instead of buying books all the time, you know what we do? We go to the local library. And that's because here in Canada, with your library card, you are able to borrow books for free. And it is not just the physical books, you're able to get the audio books, can even get digital resources. Most importantly, they are all for free. You get to keep it for at least 2 weeks and then return when you want. I'm an avid reader, I'm a bookworm. My husband and I were always grabbing books. Like once we see books, then you're calling our name. So that has actually saved us a lot of money. If you're someone trying to learn and improve financially, you really don't need to spend hundreds and thousands on books. Another trick is that if you're a student, you can always get books from the libraries because older or outdated versions are being replaced with new ones, so you can actually get a lot for free. That is what my husband have done. So most of the books we got on personal finance, investing, ETFs, index fund, real estate, they are all books that the library was giving away. And you know what? We took it and we're building our own personal library. Now, habit number 2 is leveraging the use of thrift stores. When we talk about household and clothes, we quickly realized how much we had to pay during the winter just to get winter clothes for our kids. It actually cost over $200, and that's being very conservative because the style we wanted for our kids, knowing that we just moved from Finland and they were used to wearing snow pants and all that, we actually did not see that. But the one we had to settle for was even outrageous, costing an arm and a leg. So what we recently realized is that going to the thrift stores, we were able to cut costs significantly. Recently, just last week, I wanted to buy thermoflags for the kids so that their food can be warm when they go to school. And I was, you know what, let's go on Amazon. I went on Amazon and I saw very good ones, right? And it was going to cost about $70 for the one I wanted. So I was going to get 2, the shipping cost, I was going to wait and all that. And guess what? When I went to the thrift store close by, I bought it for only $3.15 and they were new. And I was like, oh my goodness. So this frugal habit have actually put back money into our account. And I know that my account is like, Rosalind, I'm so proud of you. It is important that you explore those thrift stores. When I want to get clothes and all that, I first of all go to the thrift stores. It's not just clothes, household items. The beautiful thing about it is that these items or clothes you get from the thrift stores, they are usually in a very high and good quality. Most of them with the tags. So it is important that if you're not going to the thrift stores, other options you can explore is the community Facebook page. If someone is switching province and stuff like that, you can actually get those things. I recently went to a community where we had an International Women's Day and all that, and they were giving free clothes, free shoes and all that. So it is important to leverage also your community, especially when you are starting out. There is absolutely no need to overspend just to fit in. Habit number 3 is tracking my expenses. In my last video, I did talk about acting on my 6 months in Canada, and I was like, oh my goodness, if only I knew, I would have done better. But I'm so happy that because of the lessons I learned, not tracking my expenses, money just going out of my account, and I'm like, I'm making money, I'm earning, where is the money going to? That was when I realized that, okay, I was just buying things that were not needs. And that is why I made budgeting templates that really helps me. So I've also shared it in my, I did make like 3 videos about my payday routine, what I do, being able to track my expenses, like being in the driver's seat of my expenses that have actually changed our financial life. We now know how much is coming in, how much is going out, what are we spending on. We realized that the rent and groceries were actually the most things taking money out of our account. And we also noticed that the groceries, the price of groceries or the cost of groceries in winter is actually different from what you get in summer. These realizations have actually made us to adjust our budget and know when to buy, where to spend, and being able to track our expenses, and most importantly, keep money aside, paying ourselves first. We're able to save for the future. And honestly, the next habit is one that made the biggest difference in our financial life. That is habit number 4, reducing convenience spending. So after long days and after work, you realize, oh yeah, I'm tired. I need to eat out. I need to buy coffee. I need to just go and get pizza. I need to go and dine in and all that. That was when we realized, checking our expenses and our account, realized, okay, this is not sustainable, at least for the life we want to build. If we're able to delay gratification and really put things where they need to be, we cannot sustain this lifestyle. We realized that our weekly budget was what we were spending just in going out for once. Now, I'm not trying to say that we don't go out to eat, but we're more intentional so that when we do go out as a family, we really enjoy the moment, because it is now intentional spending in creating memory and not just by impulse. So the guilt is actually out. Habit number 5 is one that liberated me and actually gave us an upper hand when it comes to navigating our financial life. And that is having our bank accounts in a no-fee banking system. We have been using the Tangerine and the Wealth Simple for our checking account and all that. Now, even if we're still new in Canada and we still have the advantage of not paying any monthly expenses, when I spoke with friends and other people that have lived here longer, I realized that some of them pay about $4 to $14 on monthly charges on a bank. And this is us opening a bank account, being able to use our link to send to others. By the way, if you're paying a bank to keep your money, you are not doing right for yourself. I'm going to leave the bank account we've been using in the description. This is important because we don't have to pay bank fees. There is no transaction cost. So when you're transferring money, there is no need for you to pay money just to receive money into your account. I know that these things may seem small, but over time, they actually do compound. That brings me to the 6th habit that actually changed my financial situation, and that is building a simple financial system. This is by far the most important one. And that's because great financial systems are built on good foundation, and that foundation is your habits. But it is important to know that habits are good, but what makes you really consistent are the systems you build. What I did, or what we've done in our family, is to separate our accounts. We have the spending account, we have the billing account, and we have the savings account, so that by just opening these accounts, we're able to say, this is our network, this is how much we have for spending, this is how much we have for bills, and there is no confusion, but just easy trackable system that we have built that does it automatically, so that the brain power and the work and the motivation or discipline to stay consistent is just taken out of the equation. We've just set it up once and for all, and then these accounts are actually building for us, so we're able to avoid the overdraft. That's because at the end of the month, I just transfer the amount that goes to my bill account. I know how much is left for daily variable spending, and then with the savings, we have automatic investment. We already have automatic emergency fund, and this single habit is what makes everything we're doing financially sustainable. Just to tell you as a friend that frugality is not about being extreme or cheap. It is about being intentional with your money. It is about choosing where your money goes instead of wondering where did it go and when. If you're navigating life in Canada, especially financially, I'm documenting these journeys, and I'm pretty sure that they are going to be helpful. I've collected them in a playlist called Living in Canada series, where I talk about the cost of living, payday routine, things we're doing to set ourselves up financially, the investment accounts, and everything really you need to know as we build ourselves. We're taking you guys along. That way you learn from our mistakes and also our wins. So yes, it is your turn. Comment below which of these habits you've already incorporated in your life and you're so happy about it, and which of these habits I've shared that you are going to start practicing today. Remember, saving money in Canada is really not about doing everything. It is doing the small things consistently. If you enjoyed watching this video, I'm pretty sure you're going to love this video. Don't forget to click on the like button, share, leave your comment. I'm going to see you all in the next video. Bye for now. By the way, I actually made this book. I actually wrote these books for my kids. So if you want to get yours, I'm going to leave that in the description for just your niece, your nephews, everything illustrated from the beginning to the end, from the age of 4 all the way to 14. Everything kids need to know with storytelling about personal finance.